injured on Pentecost Sunday, June 5th, 2022. Imagine what that must have done to families. Imagine what that has done to the Christian fold. I mean, when I heard the news that year, it was really devastating. I was scared for the life of me because. So, are you trying to say now that there's nowhere safe? Not even the house of God, a worship place that used to be, that is the sacred and severed and revered center, is no longer safe for people.
Well, in as much as we know that Nigeria is some parts, if not most parts of Nigeria, is unsafe, security-wise.
Yeah.
My concern about this particular story that is coming up now, this witness testifying on these matters,
Yeah.
is I hope he has tangible evidence to back what he is saying.
I mean, before somebody will come out and say such a thing, and it says that it's a DSS witness.
That's
and
what
it's
I'm
under
saying.
protection.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I hope he has tangible, evidence to back what he's saying, whether you are under the umbrella of the DSS or not. We've seen situations where you could be under the protection of security agency, and when things turn around, you won't see those people that are supposed to protect you. So, like I said, I hope he has tangible evidence to back what he's saying.
All right. The witness testifying behind a protective screen for security reasons revealed that the suspects belonged to a cell linked to the proscribed terrorist group Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP. The cell reportedly operated around Okene and Adavi in Kogi State, as well as Ose local government area in Ondo States. According to the DSS lead investigator, the attack was coordinated by a terror figure identified only as Odoba, who gave direct orders to target the Catholic Church in Owo. Now, these are the key planning and mobilization points that this person has stated. He said a critical planning meeting took place on May 30th, 2022 at a location described to be a school. One of the defendants reportedly traveled to Adavi in Kogi afterward. There, weapons were supplied, 5 AK-47 rifles, 10 magazines, live ammunition, and explosive devices. Now, Mr. Fred, we keep hearing stories like this, and we keep asking ourselves, how do these people get ammunition? How do they get funds to get all of these things? What's your take on that?
It's an organized outfit.
Yeah.
The ISWAP. It's an organized, in quotes, terrorist organization. It's an organization.
Yeah.
Well organized. So when you start asking questions about how they are funded, how they are mobilized, how they are armed, it will go to classified materials. It will go to intelligence reports, which they are not made available to us right now. But common sense will let you know that there are people, possibly politicians, possibly within and outside Nigeria, that are supporting these type of organizations.
But that leaves me with one question. To what end? I mean, why all of this? To what end? What do they aim to achieve?
Yes, they for everything in life, for every action taken, there's a reason, there's a purpose for that action. Whether it is positive, whether it is negative. So it is with these terrorist group. If you have a discussion, if you have the opportunity to have discussion with their leaders, they'll tell you why they are embarking on this. Remember when the Boko Haram started in Nigeria, one of the proponents for the attack, as it were then, was that they did not want civilization. They didn't want civilized education and so that is one of the proponents of. There are many objectives why they are doing what they are doing. So I know you'll be surprised to say, to what end? Remember that these people, they are extremists from the Muslim religion.
Yeah.
And they would pick that portion of the Holy Quran that tells them that if you are not a Muslim, you are there's a word for it, And so that is the way they look at these people when they attack. They look at them like infidels.
Yeah.
They are nothing before us. These people are not going to make heaven like what they've been taught. You know,
And
so
what-
when they
what they believe.
see those who are not with them, it's very easy. You know, it will just look as if they don't have conscience. They do whatever they want to do.
All right, the attackers were paid and mobilized with vehicles hired, including a Volkswagen Golf, to transport them and the arms to the target location. Now, 5 defendants standing trials are Idris Abdulmalik Omeiza, who's 25 years old, Al Kazim Idris, who's 20 years old, Jamil Abdul Malik, who's 26 years old, Abdul Halim Idris, who's 25 years old, and the oldest of them all, Momo Otuhu Abubakar, who's 47 years old. Previous witnesses, including church survivors, I beg your pardon, and Amotekun operatives, have identified some of them, particularly Al Kazim Idris and Abdul Halim Idris, as being among the gunmen who opened fire on worshippers. Now, this testimony paints a picture of a calculated, sponsored terrorist operation rather than a random act. The court admitted several DSS exhibits into evidence. Proceedings continuing on February 18, 2026, with cross-examination expected from defense counsel. From many Nigerians, especially in Ondo State, this trial is a painful step toward justice to the 41 lives brutally cut short during a peaceful Sunday service nearly 4 years ago. This development strengthens the prosecution's case by shifting the narrative toward organized terrorism with clear funding and logistics rather than isolated extremism. Now, Mr. Fred, this last statement that I just read out now, what do you have to say about that? Because I saw you reacting. I saw you went.
No, my movement or reaction or response was when you were reading out the names.
Yeah.
And look at the age brackets. These are the people that are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow. Look at the age bracket. They are the youths. We talked about this thing yesterday when we were talking about election issues, voters. These are the people that are supposed to change the narratives, you know, as it is right now in Nigeria. But, you know, on the positive way. But look at what they are being used for. Look at what they are being used for. You understand? To kill, maim, to destroy. And that's not how it's supposed to be. These are the people who are supposed to be even leaders right now. In different, you know, segments or strata of the society, whether from the local level to the state level or to the federal level. And the eldest there, I think was quoted as being 47 years old.
Yes.
Still in the bracket of
who happens to be the oldest of them all.
you know, in the bracket of being a youth leader. But look at what is happening. Look at how they have been, you know, cajoled or deceived or tricked into believing, you know, what they are, you know, be put through to carry out against humanity, against their fellow humans, for crying out loud. You understand? So that was why I was just, when you were reading the names, I was just shaking my head. I was just wondering, look at these young people. 20s, in their 20s,
and obviously the one that's 47 apparently, obviously, I think should be their leader, because I mean he's oldest of them. All right, let's go over to the dailies. Let's see what the dailies have for us today. Let's check, Mr. Fred. Let's see what the dailies have for us
today. Today, very interesting headlines. Most of the dailies, you know, I've just been wondering the drama that has been going on in Nigeria. But we have some dailies with us. Let's start with the Daily Sun.
Okay.
Now, the Daily Sun, the major headline there says elections may hold in December 2026. And the kicker there says, as Senate moves to amend electoral bill in response to polls clash with Ramadan and Lenten season. So they're looking at not wanting to conduct election because they are calculating that there's going to be the Muslim fast and, of course, the Christian, Lenten period. So they don't want to carry out elections during those times. All right, just beside the main template there says Obi condemns tear gassing of protesters, insists on electronic transmission of election results. You can get that story on page 27 of the Daily Sun. Now, FAAN bans cash transactions in airports. That story you can find on page 25 of the Daily Sun. Free Nnamdi Kanu or return him to Kenya. Southeast monarch tells the president, Tinubu, free Kanu or return him to Kenya. All right, still at the foot of the Daily Sun. NUPRC unveils gravimetric flow metering calibration facility to curb crude oil losses and bolster revenue transparency. EFCC to secure remand order to detain El Rufai till end of investigation.
Sorry. Let me take you back there, Mr. Fred. Free Nnamdi Kanu or return him to Kenya. Southeast monarch tells Tinubu, and that can be seen in page 26
of the Daily Sun.
Why? I saw that clip and I was wondering. Free him or return him to Kenya, because in his words, that's Southeastern monarch, in his words he said you either free him or if Nigeria does not want him, that was what he said. He said if Nigeria does not want him, they should free him and he should go back to Kenya where he was before they took him down here. So what does that mean for you? Because why say that you should free him and take him to Kenya? Why can't he not live here? Why don't they want him?
No. It's either ways. Free him, or if you don't want to free him to be a free citizen moving around in Nigeria, then return him to where you extradited him from, which is in Kenya, because he was bundled from Kenya.
Bundled?
Yes, it was bundled from Kenya, and it was an illegal way, according to analysts back then, that it was very illegal to get him into Nigeria via Kenya. So I think that's what the monarch is saying. If you don't want to free him, fine. If he's causing what's it called? If he's a threat to the nation, then take him away from the country. Take him back to where
he be a free man, where he's coming from. All right. We have
okay. Now you can, if you look at the Daily Sun, still on the Daily Sun, at the front page, you will see a number of persons, a picture right there in front of us. And these are members of the opposition lawmakers in the House of Representatives after staging a walkout over decision to adopt the Senate version of the amended electoral bill at the National Assembly in Abuja on Tuesday. Okay, so that does it with the Daily Sun. Let's go to the Guardian. And it's very interesting what the Guardian put up this morning on electoral reform crisis. 2027 elections take shape as APC majority prevails, legal tussle looms. Now, if you look at just below that particular headline, it says Electoral Bill 2026, what has changed? If you get your hands on the Guardian newspaper, definitely you'll get to see what is written there. It says highlights of provisions on political party primaries, how some of the sections in that particular bill was highlighted.
And that's on page 6.
Yes, you get the full story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. All right, just below the template of the Guardian, let's see. Niger residents flee to Benin Republic as terrorists invade Bogu again, as insecurity matters right there.
Yeah.
Remi Tinubu, the president's wife, seeks prayers for Nigeria as Lent Ramadan begin. Get a story on page 2 Okay, so Zamfara governor alleges exclusion from federal government support over party affiliation. Terrorists kill 4 in Kogi, Plateau attacks. See, security matters everywhere. Now, experts raise alarm over drug use surge in Nigeria and others.
Well, that's on page 5.
At the foot of the Guardian newspaper, hoodlums invade, disrupt APC stakeholders meeting in Ondo State. And if you look at the picture on the left, at the foot of the table, you see the APC chairman of Ondo State, Ade, lying on the floor moments after he was attacked during the party's stakeholders meeting in the capital of Ondo State, Akure. Okay. 1,000 Lagos police officers benefit from Sanwo-Olu's free eye care initiative. All right, so that is done and dusted with the Guardian newspaper. Let's go over now to the Punch. The Punch for today. Like I said, there's a major story that every of the newspapers, highlighted today. And it's about the 2027 elections. And the Punch puts it this way: lawmakers protest as National Assembly okays e-transmission and manual backup. Outrage as Abaribe leads 14 senators in protest. Minority reps walk out. Above that headline, 432 billion naira probe. EFCC extends El-Rufai detention as lawyer pushes for bail. You get the story on page 7 of the Punch. Cash crunch. Ministers lament as 10 trillion naira capital funding stalls. NDAs get below 1 trillion naira for 2025 capital projects. Federal government relies on loans. I know you were telling me something about a particular DG that came up to say something. I think this is going to fall under this particular headline. Anyway, Nigeria loses 1.76 trillion naira after missing OPEC quota. You can get that story on page 22. Now, there is this pictures you can see in the front of the Punch newspaper. It's about flood. France faces new flood nightmare as waters surge. You can see how flood has, taken over most parts of this particular part of France. Okay. Ramadan Lent begin today across the globe. Okay.
Today, the 18th of February, 2026.
Yeah, and when I was coming, I think I saw some persons who had this charcoal on their forehead, and I said, okay, today is Ash Wednesday. Okay, Ondo APC chair beaten as party meeting erupts in chaos. You can see the state party chairman on the ground there, and I saw the video. I was amazed. NUPRC moves to end crude theft with first metering facility. That would be good if we meter the facility, and of course it will at least reduce thievery in the oil sector. All right, let's cross over now to the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper. And the major headline there is still on 2027 election. And the Vanguard puts it this way: reps cave in, back Senate on Electoral Act amendment. The kickers there say minority caucus stage walkout over adoption of manual electronic transmission of results. Police tear gas protesters at National Assembly. Labour, civil society demand mandatory e-transmission. Senate reduces election notice to 300 days to enable INEC adjust timetable. And then Amechi, opposition leaders merely grandstanding. This is coming from Wike. My goodness. These two persons, Amechi and Wike.
Yes, they're parallel lines.
Come again. Okay, other headlines above the main template says manufacturers, agri sector face up to 60% interest rates. Page 19 has that story. Release Kanu or return him to Kenya, Southeast Monarch tells Tinubu. No equivalence between Kanu and Igboho, says presidency. I think that's the reply to the monarch. It says there's no equivalence between Kanu and Igboho. Okay, Lent Ramadan begins today. Okay, I'll get that story on page 6. And on page 7, we read this story yesterday. Tinubu, Trump, Harris, others mourn as U.S. civil rights leader Jesse Jackson dies at 84.
Oh.
At the foot of the Vanguard newspaper, Tinubu unveils Nigeria industrial policy demands speedy implementation. Okay, on page 9, you get a story. Dangote signs $400 million equipment deal to fast-track refinery expansion. Page 19 has that story. And on page 6 of the Vanguard, it says, armed men abduct 6 travelers on Makodi-Naka Road, demand 100 million naira ransom. The way they demand this money and when they get the money is another thing. I think this is one of the reasons why the NIN and what's it called again, the BVN. Were introduced. But are those things still working to track these people? The answer is no.
It will work, but I don't.
It will.
It will work, but
okay, but it's not working yet.
I don't think the system wants it to work. It's supposed to work.
And I know
the intent
of
invention.
I know the stress that registration of the NIN, especially the BVN, put Nigerians. And look at what is still happening. These guys are demanding.
The intent of that invention was to, make it work, but
okay,
it just happens as
the last story there for the Vanguard today. Nigeria, others ignore our judgment. ECOWAS court laments. Okay, let's go away from the Vanguard newspaper. Let's go to The Nation. Still on the 2027 elections. And this is how The Nation puts it. The Nation newspaper. Lawmakers okay e-transmission, 300-day election notification. Real-time provision rejected. I think this is the only paper that has come up to say it boldly. Walkout in house.
To say the way it is.
Yes, walkout in house. INEC gets leeway to adjust timetable. Okay. EFCC holds on to El Rufai. Just above the main template, Fubara ready with 20 nominees as commissioners. Remember, he fired some officials recently. MSMEs created 250,000 jobs last year as Shetima seeks support. Okay. World leaders mourn influential African American Jesse Jackson. You see that story on page 27 of The Nation newspaper. Suspected thugs assault Ondo APC chair at meeting. Page 5 has that story. First Lady begins campaign against child malnutrition in April. Page 2 has that story. Okay, I think the last, not the last. Dangote's 900 billion naira 2025 taxes excite federal government. And 21 die in Abia, Ogun road accidents as Ramadan Lenten season begins. That does it with The Nation newspaper. And I think we have the last one, the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust, I think, did not actually, follow the trend with the other newspapers that we've highlighted. APC gets its way.
Just straight to the point.
APC gets its way. What they meant by that, I don't know, but you can find out in pages 4, 5, and 6 of the Daily Trust. Gombe governor hosts Yobe counterparts, presidential aid for key projects commissioning LCDA's groundbreaking. And you can see all the pictures there. I think that's what the Daily Trust just did today. Okay. All right. That does it with the dailies for today.
Okay. All right. So from the dailies that we've seen so far, everything that you have read so far, Mr. Fred, is basically about the elections. I understand that it's a year before elections, so almost everything in the news this period is going to be election. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not just having election and news. We're having both election and insecurity. So these are two major things that is disturbing us as a people in Nigeria. Now let's talk on the insecurity before we go back to election. So the insecurity, before we started the newspaper review, we talked about the witness that has come out to talk about the 2022 Owo church massacre. What do you think is going to be the way forward in the next few months, even before next year? What do you think is going to be the way forward in the next few months before election as regards the insecurity of this country? Do you think there's a possible way out of the insecurity that we're facing?
That is a very large question. Because the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been doing all they can to bring some sense of security to the flashpoints in the country, especially the Northeast. And even with the how will I put it now, with the collaboration of the Nigerian army and that of the United States, we thought maybe the thing would, trickle down, the insurgency and all of that. But we keep seeing day by day, almost day by day, insecurity concerns. So I think it has gotten to a point where we will now say it has overwhelmed the government of the day. Do they have solutions really on how to handle the insecurity situation in this country? I don't think we have that to a large extent. Now, I say this on my perspective because they have tried. They have tried severally.
Why are you taking yourself out of the question?
And there's one thing that is common in all of these trials that they have done: compromising situations. How situations are leaked here and there. Remember, because what I'm about to say is part of the insecurity matters. Remember that news came through different media, different reports of an attempted coup.
Yeah.
I think about twice. That shows you the level of, insecurity in this country, and, letting go of some classified materials into the public space. You understand? So, like I said, these insecurity issues or matters has overwhelmed the sitting government, this political party, right from 2015 to this year 2026. So if you're asking me what's the way forward, I think they have tried everything.
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing they have not tried is for them to cry out now that they need assistance from different. I mean, if we could do ECOMOG, if we could be of vital or pivot, if we could play a pivotal role in ECOMOG, bringing, stability to countries like Sierra Leone and Liberia. I don't know why it's getting difficult for our military to handle this kind of matters we are seeing today.
And like you rightly said, I don't think our military are not capable enough. I don't think our military are not capable enough, right? Let me say that again. I do not think that the military forces of Nigeria are not capable enough to tackle the insecurity of this country. Like you've rightly said, Mr. Fred, I think the problem is within themselves. The way the information gets leaked out is a big problem, because they cannot be strategizing.
So what are you trying to say?
They're having information leak out.
From this witness that has been speaking, that there's been compromising situations, how things were funded, armed, situation reports given to them, in order for them to come and carry out their dastardly act and all of that. So, is it that the military now prioritizes this insurgency against the citizens of this nation? Remember, there was a question you asked me some time ago, on the program your perspective.
Your perspective.
When you were saying the soldiers, when you read that part that the soldiers, they took. And you're asking me to if I will stay in that kind of place. I will not, because the people I'm looking up to protect me,
you.
they are running away. Why did they run away? It is because what those people are handling. You mentioned some of the items they use, AK-47 magazines and what have you.
And live ammunition and the rest.
And what is given to our Nigerian, soldiers to go to that front, I don't want to call it the war front, to go to that battle, is they are substandard. So how would they face this insurgency? Like I said, it's a large question that only me, I can't even answer that question.
All right. Like I said earlier, we have basically now in the country, we have two major situations. We have the election, and then we have the insecurity. We've talked about the insecurity, and after this short break, we'll talk about the election. Let's go on this really short break. We'll be right back. When we come back on the break, we'll talk on the election and the Electoral Act reform.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey, neighbor! Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor! What's up for tonight, the sweet pass? What's up for tonight? What my people? What's up for tonight? You can come down. What's up for tonight, the sweet pass? Say, what's up for tonight, the sweet pass? What's up for tonight, the sweet pass? What's up for tonight? Receive a song. You say, Jesus, you too much. What you've done in my life? What you've done in my life, I can't imagine. Jesus, you too much. Jesus, you too much. I get your whistle loose, I get your whistle loose. When I think of Jesus. When I think of where you brought me from, oh Jesus. Jump, 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 jump.
We're gonna kick up some good praise in heat. Everybody, let me hear you scream. Are you ready? Let me just see you. Who does this together? Jesus, you
Hello guys, welcome back from that really quick break. All right, before we went on that really short break, we were talking about the Electoral Act reform and insecurities, and we looked at the dailies, and almost everything had to talk about the insecurities and the 2027 upcoming elections. All right, we've handled insecurities in the previous half. This second half, we're going to be trashing the Electoral Act reform. Now, a video trended and there's a chaos going on at the Senate House as at yesterday because we there's a trending video that's going to come up shortly of how the Speaker of the Senate House, gave a different judgment from what people, the senators and people in the House actually commented. Let's have the video up so you watch with us.
Aye. Those against you say nay. Guys, have it.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
The bill is recommended to the committee of the whole. Honorable colleagues, we just observe some few minutes.
All right, so Mr. Fred, haven't seen that. I mean, obviously, the nays were louder. The people that said no, they do not want this manual transmission. They do not want it. They want it was obviously louder. But and then the eyes were not the nays were louder, the eyes were lower, but he approved the eyes. What do you have to say about that? Let's start from there before we go on to the video that was saying APC only. Some factions of the House were clamoring and saying APC only. What do you have to say about the first part of the video?
Well, that is a show of shame, first of all. A show of poor leadership. A show of I don't know the adjective I want to use in describing this, but clearly this is letting the whole of Nigeria know that the people we have there representing us, whether from the Senate, whether from the House of Rep, we have bad leaders.
Barbarians.
We have
that behave
well,
like
I don't want to say barbarians.
No, they behave like barbarians.
I don't want to say barbarians.
From what people are saying, is that it's such a shame that the people leading us are behaving like barbarians. Because how can you be shouting because I think there is a green and red button that you can just easily in this actually, come to think of it, in this modern age and time, are we still doing nays, eyes? The eyes have it when they can just easily press the button and
it is the style of the legislature. It is the style of the legislature. You can't take it away from.
But then, do they have to be this barbaric, so to speak?
To an extent, look, when it comes to that other clip where they were saying only to a certain political party, the political party they were talking about. For me, it's I think I want to borrow that word from you, being
barbaric.
Very, very uncultured, or and through this you are being watched all over the world, and this is what you are presenting to the world. These are people who make laws for the country.
You are,
and this is
leading
what
people. You're representing people,
and this is what you are dishing out to the public. Yes, it is. It was very, very certain, it was very open that there is a discord, there is a division in the house
Amongst them,
as
yeah.
regards this matter. It's played out as a result of this e-transmission of results and all of that. But come on, you guys shouldn't have gone that level.
And then there are protesters. You know, we are aware of protesters that are outside, that were outside the National Assembly House as at yesterday and some other days before yesterday. You know, and there are reports that they were thrown tear gas. The policemen threw tear gas at the protesters, at peaceful protesters. What do you have to say about that? Because somebody said, sorry to cut you, somebody said that in the law, I do not know which part of the law, I'm yet to confirm that though. Somebody said that in the law, if a protest has lasted longer than for 72 hours, then the police can come in and, you know, take whatever actions they can on protesters. But these are peaceful protesters just clamoring for one thing. Why not just come out or send a representative to come out and talk to these people so that they can know where they stand?
Now, in developed crime, the security outfits, in this case the police force, will just be around to ensure that the protest does not escalate.
Yeah.
Just to ward them off property destruction and all of that. I think that's what the police should have done, not shooting tear gas at people who were protesting in a peaceful manner. So, for those who are protesting, I've said this over and over again. This e-transmission of results, I don't know what the lawmakers are afraid of. I don't know why they are fighting this thing.
I don't know.
But one thing is common. One thing is common right now. Nigerians are aware. They are enlightened. They are educated now. They saw what happened in 2023 and they were not happy. And that's why they are fighting
and you're certain
for this
that there's no
e-transmission.
one that will happen again.
And to cap it all, the telecom outfits, companies that we have in Nigeria, they are telling INEC, the lawmakers, that you are not the experts that run this telecommunication.
Exactly. Let us do
We are the experts. Allow us to do this because it is achievable. It is doable. Leave this thing for us to go about. Why are you people, diving into areas that you do not know anything about?
Okay, still on this election and electoral act reform, I'll plead with Mr. Fred to please give us an actual insight on, what it is, what it means to, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the e-transmission. Now, the e-transmission of voting, and it's transmitted real time on the IREF portal. You explain that for us, and then you also explain how the EC8A form also works, so that people can actually understand why there's a bit of fuzz there.
Well, in the last election, in the 2023 election, the IREV portal was used. But when it got to the presidential election, that was where stories came about, like IREV, there's a glitch and all of that. Now, before I come to the IREV to explain the IREV issue or the e-transmission of results issue, let's look at the EC8A. Now, that's the form where all results are collated from the different polling units, signed by different officers, representatives from different political parties, and the presiding officer from INEC or representative of INEC, to say that these votes were counted, everybody heard the counting, satisfied, every official signed. That is the manual collation of these results. Now, this
in that collating, it can be manipulated.
Now this is where the e-transmission they are talking about. Now you have the IREF portal machine with you. All you just have to do is input those figures straight to the machine.
Okay.
To the portal. I'm using machine so that even the market women will understand. You upload those figures to the portal without tampering the figures that you have already announced. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, one thing we talked about yesterday about this matter was when it comes to collation of these results via the IREF portal, how many bytes or how many MBs would it take
To
for
send,
the internet to
to
take
send.
these materials and accept it and then transmit?
It's just like sending a WhatsApp message.
It's a very, very, it's not a huge,
It's not
it's not a huge
it's not
data.
going to be a huge thing, yeah.
you get.
Because there are no places right now that do not have as little as POS machines. Even the rural areas have POS machines now. So there's internet, there's network providers, there are network providers everywhere. So you will not say, oh, this village does not have network. I think somebody said that his village does not have network, and I'm wondering like how at my village, and you're a sitting governor, and you really had the mind and the temerity to say that to the whole country to hear that your village does not have the network or does not have the internet service to transmit, to allow such transmission.
Look, it's all
So
good.
because people make it sound like, when we read these things on the internet and the newspapers, it looks so ambiguous, and it looks as if it's some rocket science, or it's a very simple thing, just the way you type a WhatsApp message and you click send, and the receiver receives it on the other end.
Do you know?
That's how this
Do you know why?
e-transmission thing is.
Do you know why people are against what the Senate, have passed? Yes, in transmission, but we will depend. We'll also fall back to manual, results through the that form.
ECATA form.
Just in case there's problem with the IRF portal and all of that. There will not be problem with the IRF portal.
They're already hoping there should be a
No,
problem.
they
They're already
know.
hoping that there will be
They
a problem.
know that they will make that thing not work.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand? So the bottom line is that if we depend on that manual transmission, it can be manipulated.
Yeah. So,
But
are you saying that the e-transmission system cannot be manipulated?
Well, to a large extent, it's difficult to manipulate the IRF portal. Is to a large extent, because what you're transmitting, everybody already knows that is what is going into the IRF portal. So by the time everybody sees that that's what you transmitted, everybody's going home with that. It's just like the EC8 form, 8A form now. You get the figure. You were there in the polling unit when it counted. You take that figure home. From that your unit, you know that this is the figure. But by the time the results are now collated,
You see something different, and there's nothing you
begin to
can
see,
do.
yes.
There's
You
absolutely
understand?
nothing you can
So,
do. Yeah.
so it is with the IRF issue. If you upload and you now see a discrepancy with what you got and what is transmitted, then you now say,
There's a
there's
problem.
foul play.
Yeah. And then at that point, the election has already been conducted.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do again. It's just clamor. All right. Okay. In another news, we have a startling admission that has sparkled outrage and raised fresh questions about the state of food security and agricultural support under the current administration. The Director General of a key federal agricultural training institution has told the National Assembly Committee that his staff have received no salaries at all since the start of 2024 and zero funding for their operational budgets. This revelation came during a heated 2026 budget defense session before a joint committee exposing what critics are calling a crippling neglect of the very agency responsible for equipping Nigerian farmers with modern best practices. And it says no salaries since January 2024, zero funding for overheads and operations. This was said on February 11th, 2026. Now, the Director General, leading an institution mandated to train farmers nationwide in improved techniques, sustainable methods, mechanizations, and productivity boosting practices, appeared visibly frustrated as he addressed the Joint Committee on Agricultural Production and Services. In his words, quoted from proceedings, he said, "We have not received any salaries from the Tinubu government since 2024. Beyond that, we have not received a penny to fund our actual budget or overheads. This means that staff who train farmers across the country have gone over 2 full years without pay. surviving and skyrocketing living costs, inflation, and economic hardship. The agency itself remains paralyzed, unable to run training programs, procure equipment, facilitate extension services, or even cover basic operational costs like fuel, utilities, or field visits. Now, we even have empty government offices or protest signs for emphasis. And then it says that the training has been halted. Now, Mr. Fred, let me ask you this. This is a lot. I mean, we keep in our, if we look through our budgets, I'm very sure that there's a place and there's a point where we will talk about agriculture, where they must have budgeted funds for agricultural this, agricultural that. And now the Director General in charge of farmers training in institutions have come out to say that his institution has not received a dime from the Tinubu government. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I've been trying to wrap my head around this and trying to get which of the agencies and the Director General, his name. But to all the reports that I've been following, no name was mentioned and the agency was mentioned. But if that is the case, at least it was reported that there was someone who stood before a committee in the National Assembly to defend, what is set aside as a budget.
So now that now leaves us with a question. If we look through the national budget since Tinubu's administration, there is definitely a part set aside for agricultural development and institutions and trainings and all of that. And now this institution is coming out to say they have not received a dime. I sense foul play there. I sense something is wrong somewhere, because why has the institution not received a dime from this current administration? But definitely there have been funds that has been budgeted for these institutions.
That's why I'm just wondering why the committee did not ask him these questions you're asking. What happened? How come you've not received anything from the budgets that was budgeted for that particular ministry? What happened to the money that was given to the ministry and that should have spiraled down to your own agency to carry out your job or your work? So how come you're coming here and to defend what you are, projecting or your proposal for the budget, and you're not saying that since 2024 we've not received a dime, not even a salary, and you've not come up before now to say anything?
All right.
This is 2026, and you said since 2024.
2024, that's 2 years.
So how has he and his staff, or subordinates, been going about doing their business since 2024?
The implications are there for Nigerians' agricultural sector, which employs the majority of the population and remains the backbone of food production. Without funded training and extension services, farmers miss out on critical knowledge to combat low yields, climate challenges, post-harvest losses, and pest factors already driving food inflation and insecurity. Lawmakers and committee expressed shock, like Mr. Fred has expressed now, with some describing the situation as unacceptable and a direct threat to national food security goals. Now, these are the questions mounting. How has this persisted for so long, like you've asked? What oversight failures allowed it? And what immediate remedial steps will the executive take? Now, this testimony reported widely, and it has ignited public debate online and in civil society circle, with many calling for urgent intervention, including back payment of arrears and full release of withheld funds. As Nigerians grapple with rising food prices and economic pressures, this bombshell from the heart of agricultural development underscores deeper concerns about priorities in government spending. The National Assembly is expected to probe further, while pressure builds on the executive for answers and action. All right, like you've asked, we're also asking, how come this has happened for so long? How come this has lingered on for so long? And now the question still remains, how can Nigeria feed its people when those training the farmers can't even feed themselves?
Exactly.
Is this a rhetorical question, or is this a question that we should answer?
Exactly the question. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's disheartening to hear this kind of situation, this kind of report coming in, that since 2024. And that's what I'm saying to the Director General himself. I think he ought to be questioned. How come all these years, 2024, 2025, and now 2026, you've not been paid salary? So how have you been operating? How have you been going about doing your business? How have you been feeling? So this goes to, look, a little digression, but this goes to let us know that if he is dependent on his salary,
Yeah.
because he's complaining right now,
Yeah.
if he's dependent on his salary and whatever they do, then how has he been surviving? Is it that there are loopholes somewhere that he feeds from the national cake that made him to just relax since 2024? Because there's no way that you'll be in a place working and they expect returns from that particular department. Nothing is coming forth, but you are there for 1 year, 2 years, going 3 years, nothing is happening, and all of a sudden you come out and start crying that, look, we've not received money since 2024. Why now? When you know that the position you are given, in fact, the agency you are leading or administering to is very key to the economy. We're talking about food here.
Yes, food. I mean, how can Nigeria feed its people when those that are training the farmers cannot even feed themselves? It's just like, I want to teach you how to drive a car, and I do not have a car myself. I've not driven a car before.
Sometimes when we hear things like this and we come up to say, and attack them, they'll just think we're just attacking them for the purpose of attacking them.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the wisdom about this now? What is the wisdom? What was it trying to derive or get at since 2024 that he has not received money to at least go about training these farmers that can help solve the food crisis that we've been facing since 2023-24, and this is 2026.
Okay, all right. Before we call it a day, let us go through what's trending on different social media platforms. And I hope that the Director General of this agricultural institution, and the National Assembly finds a way to resolve that agricultural problem, because that's a very huge problem. Because how can a country survive without food? How can people who are supposed to train the farmers not know how to train themselves, how not even have food to even feed? That's a very serious question. And now let's delve over to what's trending. And right now we have Ramadan. We have Ramadan trending. We have Simi, the musician, trending. We have in sports, we have Vinny, still in what's trending in Nigeria. We have Ash Wednesday. Mr. Fred, what's happening in sports? Who's Vinny? What's happening?
Yeah, Vinicius Junior is a footballer with Real Madrid of Spain. Yesterday they went to Portugal in the Champions League playoff, a two-legged affair between Real Madrid and Benfica of Portugal.
Oh yeah.
So now the interesting part is that the Benfica coach of today used to be the coach of Real Madrid.
Oh
yeah, back in the day, and it was a kind of reunion. In fact, the coach was even sent off yesterday, which is Jose Mourinho.
Oh.
Yes, the game was so highly tempered. It got to a point, the players, walked off the pitch and said they were not going to play the game again because of this particular Vinny that you just talked about. I wanted to just bring that story around. Now, Vinny claimed that he was racially abused. He's dark. He's a black man.
Oh.
Yeah, so he claimed he was racially abused. And there was a picture I saw of the opposing team. One of the players called Otamendi is a defender with Benfica.
Yeah.
Where he ran up to, I think, the Vinny himself and pulled up his jersey, and showed the tattoo he made. Now, Otamendi is a white guy from Argentina. The tattoo he had on his stomach was Lionel Messi winning the World Cup.
Oh,
So he opened, and Vini is a Brazilian.
okay.
So remember, Otamendi is Argentina,
Argentina.
Vini is Brazil.
Brazil.
It's been long Brazil won the World Cup.
Yeah.
The last World Cup was won by Argentina, where Messi lifted as captain. So he lifted up his jersey and he saw the tattoo of, I mean, what for? It's not like you scored. It's not like you won because Real Madrid won that game 1-0.
Was all of that necessary though?
So he walked off. The reason why Vini is trending is because he was racially abused and he walked off the pitch. But later, I think the game resumed and all of that.
Okay, all right. Still on what's trending, we have Ash Wednesday. Today being the 18th day of February 2026 has happened to be the Ash Wednesday for the Roman Catholic brethren all over the world. And still in what's trending in sports, we still have Benfica, like Mr. Fred has mentioned, and we have Mirabel. We have in sports Mourinho. And politics says May Allah. So trending in Nigeria, it says hashtag DG Vance Savings Challenge. I think there's a challenge going on. It's called DG Vance Savings Challenge. And in music, what's trending is Adekunle Gold is trending. And still in sports, Prestiani is trending. Argentina is trending. And sports racism is trending. Ikorodu, Dion, Sniper, Otamendi, and all of that. Okay, now before we call it a day, let us bring it back home. Let's come to our metropolis here in Warri, Delta State. We have a video that's going to play up now of our Delta State Governor, Honorable Sheriff Oburiwari, who's gone out on a road inspection in the Delta North, in the Delta North side of Delta State. All right, let's have the video up.
The 12.2 kilometers Ugbolu-Okpana Link Road had its groundbreaking ceremony in November last year. The road is designed with 7.7 meter wide concrete drains on both sides. It also has an overall width of about 11 meters and 8 meters main carriageway. The project connects Okpana and Ugbolu, two twin towns close to Asaba, the Delta State capital. Inspecting the ongoing projects, the governor said his goal is not just to build roads. He noted he wants to connect communities for faster development.
We decided to do this road because to decongest the urban area. Because this road connects between, the beauty about this road, it connects between Ugbolu community and Okpana community. And they have lived together. And this road will bind them together. As a bridge builder, you need to connect, not only just doing flyovers in the urban area, you must also connect in the rural, so that most of the infrastructure we are doing in the rural to have a lot of impact on the people. So, and that's why I've come here to inspect. So we are not only inspecting here, we are going to inspect other projects. And hopefully, by this weekend, we are going to commission some projects, especially in the university. So there are a lot of things we're doing in the health sector, a lot of we're doing in the institutions, in the schools, and all that.
At the phase 2 of Oko Road, leading to Kwanala, Okogbele, and Okodofili, the governor commended the contractor on the quality of work done on the first phase. He praised the quality of work despite the difficult terrain. He urged the contractor to complete the second phase in record time.
This contract, whether it's 24 months, it will be good if it's commissioned my first tenure to give the people, make people happy. You can't just drive up to about 5 kilometers, 4.7. And you see, you can see how the place is, the terrain is very, very bad. Very, very bad. And you can't fill with laterite, you fill with sharp sand. Because you can't even get good laterite here because of the area it has a clay. So I assured the Oko people that we are ready. It's because of the terrain, the funds are there, the contractor has been fully mobilized with 40%.
The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to people-oriented projects across the state. He noted the aim is to positively impact the lives of Deltans.
Okay, as we can see, the 12.2 kilometer Ogbolo-Okpana Link Road has had its groundbreaking ceremony in November last year. The road is designed with 7.7 meter wide concrete drains on both sides. It also has an overall width of about 11 meters and an 8-meter main carriageway. The project connects Okpanam and Ogbolu, two twin towns close to Asaba, the Delta State capital. Inspecting the ongoing project, the governor said his goal is not just to build roads. He said he wants to connect communities for faster development. At the phase 2 of Oko Road, leading to Oko Anala, Oko Ogbele, and Oko Odifili, the governor commended the contractor on the quality of work done on the first phase. He praised the quality of the road despite the difficult terrain. He urged the contractor to complete the second phase in record time. Sheriff February, the Delta State governor, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to people-oriented projects across the state and has said the aim is to positively impact the lives of Deltans. All right, that's it from Delta State. Mr. Fred, okay, from that road, I was saying off camera, right? I was saying that that's a good one. Governor Sheriff is doing absolutely great. But from the roads that have been constructed so far, I mean, somebody has to say it, and please let me say it. He's been doing so well, but I think that the gutters that they've been constructing, that the contractors have been constructing on these roads, it takes almost half of the road.
Ah, come on, it's not.
I'm not saying categorically.
No, that's
I'm just saying it takes. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not. Let me not exaggerate, but I'm saying it's almost half of the road, because you see big, very huge, gigantic, and very deep gutters. And then you said it's because those roads need drainage system.
Let me ask you a question.
From the video we saw now, this road we saw now, we saw how wide that gutter is.
Let me ask you a
and then when they construct that gutter, you see that gutter will take almost half of the road.
Let me ask you a question. There was a certain governor of Delta State when it was called beautifying roads in Delta,
and it was called the Roadmaster.
No, I think it wasn't the one.
Okay, not the Roadmaster.
No, there was a certain governor that was also doing road projects, and it was beautifying the city,
and
the state.
Sorry,
the roundabout. I want to ask you this question.
It's almost as if all the governors are just coming to work on roads.
I want to ask you this question, Maro.
Yes.
He went about constructing ring roundabout. The roundabouts they were so big,
taking huge acres of land.
That one and this drainage, which would you prefer?
I think I'd prefer the roundabouts.
No, because
do you know why I prefer the roundabouts? Do you know why I prefer the roundabouts?
And you understand the terrain.
I use roads. I'm a road user.
And you understand the terrain of these roads that you're complaining about the drainage is too wide. You will not say you prefer the roundabout. Let me explain something to you. Okay. For the drainages that you're saying they are too wide, those areas, especially that Ogbolu and Okpanam axis that I know very well in Asaba, it's in the state capital, Asaba. Whenever it rains, I mean, if it rains like we've been having here in Warri, whenever it rains, you'll be shocked at the level of water you see in that place. And they all move towards a certain place. Now, there is a shopping mall, a popular shopping mall that has taken their hands off the mall now, if you understand. I don't want to promote any company here.
I get it.
But there's a shopping mall in Asaba. From that shopping mall down to Okpanam, when it rains, because there's a police station along that road too. Whenever it rains, you can't access it. Tricyclists can't access that road.
Because of how flooded it will be.
You will not know where is the drainage and where is the major road. We have lost lives on that road. So when because these roads I'm talking about, this particular one, at this part now, and the police station, they are well-tarred roads, the drainages are well. But you see, where it links to is where it is constructing. That's Ubolu and Okpanam axis.
Panam Road.
That's where the thing will now
The main
go
problem.
and settle, because there's not enough drainage. Because the drainages we have, let me not just say drainages, gutter, that at that time they have is just very, very narrow.
Very narrow. And
Now,
then
so
the
what
water
they are doing
comes
now,
out and
yeah, so what they are
exposes.
doing now is not only a little bit wider than the former, it's even deeper than the
Deeper.
former.
Yes, I don't have an issue like that area now. You said is an actually dangerous road.
The flood is
And
something else there.
it's a waterlogged and swampy area.
yeah.
I'm talking about the roads, some other roads, right, that has been constructed so far.
Like just mentioned.
Like this PTI axis, this
Okay.
PTI road,
Mm.
the gutter on PTI road or the drainage system on PTI road is very deep,
Good.
very dangerous.
No, they're not.
The reason why I say very dangerous is they are very big and there are no they don't have, how do I put it? They don't have the slabs
to cover
to cover them.
them. They will cover them.
When? But
They
they
will
finished
cover them.
constructing them years ago. When
They will cover them.
because
let's see.
that is the observation
What
that
part
so
of
many
the
other,
PTI road are you talking about?
Deltons.
What part of the PTI road?
from Masoje Junction down to PTI Junction,
They will cover them.
all of that
because
area,
If you look
and
at
even some other roads.
if you
inside
look at the construction
towns
going
and
on
streets.
around that PTI junction to DSC roundabout and then to the full roundabout, you know, the work will soon be completed.
Yeah.
That job, so they will access those drainages. They will cover them. They will cover them because those are death threats.
Yeah, because that's Governor Sharif has been doing a very, very wonderful job, you know, from the flyovers to the roads to the different things, different projects that he's been covering and making sure not just cover them, not just make sure that he starts them. He makes sure that they are started and they are completed.
Yeah.
And not just
And
completed,
doing
and
something quality.
they are very well done. They're quality jobs.
But look at the company that is,
That's
carrying out
handling it, right? So just like we say in our local parlance, good soup na money killer. I mean, better soup na money killer.
Not
something
only
like
money
that.
killer, maybe person sabi cook too.
Good. If you're a good cook and you have the money, the soup will come out
Now
nice.
you're
And that's
talking.
that's the case of Delta State and Delta State government. And this is us giving Governor Sharif a thumbs up. But please, would want my observation, and I'm sure that that's the observation of so many other Deltons. Please let us ensure that the slabs to these drainage systems are well covered for the safety of lives of Nigerians and Deltons at large. All right, Mr. Fred, any last words for our amazing viewers today?
I just want to say thank you to the viewers for watching TVM Express, and yes, it's a fantastic day, and just want to take out from today's edition. Let us unite as a nation, as a people, to fight the few who want to, disrupt our destiny as Nigeria.
All right, you heard it from Mr. Fred. Let us come together as one. We are one people, we are one nation, and let us say no to bad governance. Let us, stand our ground, and whatever the outcome of the 2027 election is, let us stick together as one, because we're all that we've got. We're all that we have as a people. This is our fatherland. We do not intend or would not plan to run away from here for another man's land. All right, so let us stick together as one, and let us pray and be more observant. Be your brother's keeper. Be more observant of your environment. And we hope and pray that we do not record more cases of insecurities and massacres in the nearest future. All right, that's it from me, your homegirl, Mara Samuels, and my amazing co-anchor, Mr. Fred O'Neill. And we'll say have a lovely day and bye-bye.
Hello, do you want to win amazing prizes? Just text TVN to +234 703 727 2983 and follow us on our social media platform and send a screenshot to our WhatsApp number +234 9028 518367 and stand a chance to grab airtime